Yep, I agree. And them hiring, bringing Dr. Rick Abramson to kind of run the digital center of excellence or whatever it's called is
Yeah.
going to be fantastic. He's going to give so much good guidance because he comes from industry, practicing clinician. He's spent time working for vendors, AI companies, etc. So he's one of those ones that's the kind of thing when you see an appointment, you're like, good. Do they understand what we're talking about? Or are they going to have to rely on a bunch of aides and they can get, these staffers and who knows what they know? And so it's good to have someone who actually has battle scars but also has the domain expertise. But I wanted to talk a little bit about, what's your take on, so you guys are cloud, and so it seems like there's like on-prem, you have like the Pure Storage of the world, which obviously, like I think, from my research, like if you need like incredible access, massive compute, especially on AI, etc., it seems to be like a pretty good option. But then you've got other companies that are like pure cloud, and they're like, no, we'd never work with Pure. I mean, where do you guys lay down? Like if you had an organization that says, we love Adva, we love what you're doing, but we need you to be connected to Pure. I mean, is that something you guys could do, or is it like, nope, we do it one way, and which is fine.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out, because that is a debate I've been involved in a couple times now over the last month, and I haven't been looking for it. It's kind of found me. So
Yeah. Never say never. I mean, if there's a big enough opportunity, an interesting opportunity, a lot of the work that we do is containerized in a way that is fairly portable. Most storage devices have embraced the S3 standard, so it's not going to be like recreating the wheel. It'll be some effort for sure, but we're not afraid of it. We'd rather not do it. Right now
Sure.
we have a deployment on AWS, which is a hub and spoke system where we have the hub, which is the brains of the system, and that's where anything that has no impact on latency resides. And then we deploy the solution in your region closest to you, things that have latency impact. We're up to, I think, 6 regions. We just spun up the most recent one to support the Africa implementation, which we've reached a point where it takes days to do something like that.
That's great.
So,
which country in Africa? I should have asked earlier.
We're in the middle of doing it now, so I don't want to say the name.
Okay.
But it's Zimbabwe.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's actually 2 or 3 countries. Working
Okay,
together
cool, nice.
with some American physicians.
Great.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to the vibe coding thing, because this is so interesting. So we use, I'm sure you guys as well, we went really early with reaction on prompt engineering, like really early in Copilot, OpenAI, Claude obviously, but Super Grok, like all this other kind of thing, like really, really early. And I have a very strict policy internally, such as we've never allowed any AI to even correct errors or bugs. A human has to be over literally everything. Like our QA is, it's great. We're moving very, very rapidly, but I just don't turn the wheel over to AI ever to actually push and change anything in production. It can't actually do that. So we're a little bit different, but I don't know why I gave that preamble actually, except, so you hear a lot of these things happening about where we're going to vibe code, or a CEO gets really ticked off. Seems like everybody hates their existing CRM regardless of what it is. They're just like, oh, we hate it and we want to go somewhere else. So we've been here, which has been kind of good for us because we've been out there replacing some of them. But the whole my perspective, the whole notion is that a company out there could vibe code their CRM and make it really successful internally seems like literally insane. Like you want to maintain all the protocols, the security, you want to keep it updating. You're going to have at least 1 or 2 dedicated people. That's probably more expensive than the CRM, especially as you get a much bigger enterprise. And so the same kind of thing where I've heard some insane stuff like, we're just going to vibe code our own packs. Like they just get pissed. Like that's it. We're just going to develop our own packs. We're just going to develop our own cardiovascular reporting system. And I just shake my head. I'm like, that is, I want to smack hands, like bad AI. That's a bad, that don't do that. There's definitely agents and things you can do internally. Hospitals can do, imaging centers can do for efficiency, but I think it's extremely wrong-headed that these business, whether it's a business or whether it's a hospital, thinks that we're going to vibe code a truly essential, complex enterprise app and think you're going to have any sort of success with that.
Yeah, no, it's. I share your wrist slap approach. I mean, I mean, vibe coding is like microwaving a TV dinner versus a meal that's a chef kiss, organized, orchestrated. I think it's good for prototyping. It's good for experimentation on certain things. It's had its place, and look, technology is getting better and better. The AI we're using now is probably the worst AI we'll ever see. Like literally next week's AI is going to be better.
For sure.
So, again, never say never. But today, what I'm seeing today, vibe coding has its place primarily around kind of prototyping. We have, but if you want to have, and there are example after example after example of a data breach or security. Amazon had to halt production for a while because some AI agent went rogue and did something it shouldn't have been. So they kind of panicked and shut down for a few hours, which, as you can imagine, has ripple effects.
Well, yeah, wasn't that last week? Pocket OS or something like that. They had an agent go to do a bug fix and decided, just like Son of Anton on Silicon Valley, delete the entire production code. Just goes in and goes, we're just going to get rid of it.
Anthropic leaked its own source code.
It's scary, man.
So there's just example after example where this is a bad thing. Look, if you're, a friend of mine just posted on LinkedIn. Actually, he and his son were playing with creating a new variant of a chess game, and they vibe coded it, and it was really cool. It was learning for this young kid, but they actually came out the other end with a fully functioning game. Right. Great.
Yeah.
Different than a scaled out enterprise scale, patient care, mission critical solutions. It's a completely different thing where you want to maintain controls,